What's going on, my eaters? It's your boy, Chef Drew, AKA Chef, AKA Big Drew, AKA we cooking lobster today, y'all. I'm so excited. I have a special guest coming today. I've been looking really forward to talking to this lady for a long time. We can talk about that more in a little bit. But before we get into that, y'all, please like, subscribe, do all the things so we can keep bringing you all this good content. But like I said, Miss Angie Reese is coming to talk to us today. Super excited about it. When I asked her what would her last meal on earth be, what's her thing, she said lobster. So luckily for me, I like lobster too. I've been wanting to try some lobster stuff. So today we're gonna talk with Angie Reese and we're gonna be making some lobster roll, y'all. Guys, what is going on? Like I said, my friend Angie Reese is here with me today of Angie's Cleaners. Angie, I'm glad you're here with us.
I'm glad to be here with you.
This young lady's business, I've been going to her business for years. If you see me looking good, if it got a crease in it, it's because of Miss Angie and Angie's Cleaners, I'm telling you, for real. Welcome to the Eating Chambers channel. We're gonna make some lobster roll today.
Awesome.
You said that if you could have any meal on earth one last time, it would be lobster.
Yes.
So
and
I
lobster rolls it would be.
Awesome. So I went and got you some lobster, and we're gonna make some lobster roll with it. I've got warm water lobster. If you don't know the difference between lobsters, you have cold water like Maine, and then you have warm water like the Caribbean. Typically, warm water lobsters are a little bit sweeter in nature, a little bit more tender, whereas cold water lobster are a little bit more briny, salty, and a little bit more firmer. So we got some spiny Caribbean lobster here. We're gonna make some lobster roll. Yeah, that's what we're doing today. All right, y'all, so we're gonna, me and Ms. Angie, we're gonna get into some talking. While we're doing that, we're gonna start with this lobster roll, putting it together. We have all the stuff prepped out already. We have some lemon juice, fresh lemon juice. If you don't have fresh lemon juice, you can use, you know, the bottled stuff. We got some fresh minced ginger, yellow spicy mustard, dill and chive, fresh, some mayo, some minced garlic, and some lemon zest. But Miss Angie, while we're doing that, just tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about your background, your upbringing, where you come from. Give the folks a little bit of an idea of who we're talking to at the core or foundational level.
I'm Angela Reese. I'm 50 years old. I have two sons, Brandon and Christopher. I have my biggest fan. My husband is with us today.
Hey, Mr. Chris.
My upbringing, I'm kind of a storyteller. I grew up in a 2-bedroom trailer down in Cordell, Georgia.
That's country, y'all. If y'all don't know, Cordell, Georgia,
country.
That's country.
In the middle of a cornfield.
I don't stop in Cordell, Georgia. I keep moving.
Yes.
I got to get down to Valdosta or something. That's just me, just saying.
So I came from nothing. When I was about 6 years old, my mother moved back up here. She raised us 2 girls. And then as I got older, I found myself in customer service. And I worked at Kroger for a little while. Loved the people. I love people. That's when I found out I love people.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I moved on to banking. After that, I moved on to working at a law firm.
Really?
And from the law firm is when my mother got the opportunity to buy the business that we're in right now. So I had just had my son, my youngest son, and I said, you know what, let me work the weekends. Let me see how I'm gonna like the clientele, how I'm gonna like the work.
Mm-hmm.
The minute I walked in the door, I felt it. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life. And 20 years later, I'm still here.
So you said when you walked into the door.
When I walked into the door of the cleaners.
Of the cleaners, mm-hmm. You felt it.
I felt it.
So when you say you felt it, I know what she means when she says she felt it. But somebody may not know what we mean when we're saying that. And then, or there's somebody who might be feeling it, but they don't know they're feeling it. So when you say you felt it, what do you mean by that?
There was a higher being than me telling me that this is what I was going to be doing. It was, I can't describe the feeling. Unless it happens to you, mm-hmm. I cannot describe it. But it was an aura that came over me after meeting all the employees, after dealing with several of the customers. It was just an aura. And I said, this is what I'm going to do.
How long from the first time you walked into the cleaners Did you maybe you just answered this from the first time you walked into when you knew this was me? How long was that?
It was only 2 weekends.
Wow. Okay.
So the previous owners gave us an opportunity of putting $5,000 down on the business.
Okay.
And they would owner finance it for us.
Okay.
So we came up with $5,000 because, of course, we did not have $5,000, but we ended up coming up with it.
Right.
And we walked in the doors, and 20 years later, I'm still here.
So I'm learning stuff right now, y'all, too, because if you don't know, I don't pre-game my guest. I like things to be organic and free. And so I'm learning things right now with you. You have heard me say on this channel multiple times, y'all, entrepreneurship is not possible without faith, without having something greater and higher and bigger than yourself to propel you through. Me and Miss Angie have never talked about that, and you just heard her say one of the first things out of her mouth. She just knew because something greater than herself was pulling her that way. So I digress. So y'all know we have the lobster tail in here so far. We have a little bit of the salt water that the lobster cooked in, a little bit of fresh lemon juice, maybe about 2 or 3 teaspoons. I'm only dealing with 2 lobster tail here, y'all. So, you know, our amounts are gonna be just a little bit, but you know, y'all can play with this, but this is just a framework for what we're doing. So in here we have the lobster, the salt water, a little bit of lemon juice, some minced garlic, lemon zest, and some fresh ginger. We're also gonna put in some yellow mustard, spicy yellow mustard. If you don't like spicy mustard, you can use regular mustard. If you don't like mustard, you ain't gotta use no mustard. And then we're gonna do a mayonnaise-based lobster roll today. You can do this vinaigrette-based, maybe we'll do that next time. Here's a little bit of mayonnaise. Now here's the thing, you do not want to use so much ingredients, y'all, that your lobster, the expensive stuff, the meat, get lost. So you can always put it in later, but once it's in, it's kind of hard to take it out. So you just want to make sure as you're doing this, that it's nice and balanced and all that good stuff. It's looking like everything that we need to put in there is in there. I'm gonna take this from Miss Angie and give it a good little stir, stir, whisk, whisk, give it a taste, and we'll see where we're at. This is what we got. You see the awesome, awesome, beautiful lobster chunks there. We just cooked the lobster. We have lobster tails. Do you want to taste this or you want me to taste it?
You can taste it.
I'll taste it, okay.
I'll trust your judgment.
Okay. You want to be careful with the salt because like I said, some of the salt water that it cooked in is in the bowl already. So you don't want to spend all this money on some daggone lobster and then over salt it and then be mad at everything. I'll be mad at everything, trust me. A little bit of salt and pepper. It smells great, if y'all don't know. Okay, so Miss Angie, you said 20 years later, you are still here. So your mom helped get you into the business.
She did. She actually did the books for the business, and he just came to her and said, Miss Janice, I've lost a lot of money on Copeland. I need you to pull the numbers. I need to sell it. And he says, but I want to offer it to you and your family first.
Really?
Yes. And that right there, it's just, I have to thank the good Lord.
Okay.
It's.
Now, up until that point, was entrepreneurship a thing in your family?
My mother was.
Really?
She owned her own accounting business.
Okay.
And she still does.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, it was in the family.
Awesome. You touched on a little bit about your background in retail. You said you worked in a law firm, some other things. And you said when you came into cleaning business, after 2 weekends, you knew. Mm-hmm. What would you say were some of the things that were different about this endeavor versus the things that you had done before?
I was able to do face-to-face customer service.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to build something that was us.
Right.
It's me and my family, and not work for someone else.
Right.
And that's what we did. My youngest son, I mean, he was not even a year old when we bought it.
Okay.
So, I mean, of course, he's grown up in it.
Right.
And the things that we've been able to instill into our children and the customer service and the business aspects of it, we're able to instill into our children, hoping that they can carry it on. Those were things that I didn't have the opportunity to learn when I was growing up because my mom started her business when I was a teenager.
Okay. Wow. Miss Angie, that tastes good. I want you to taste it.
Oh, that's good.
So y'all, I don't know what these other people are doing with their lobster roll. When I looked, I saw mayonnaise, I saw celery, I saw some without mayonnaise, herbs. Me, I thought that to complement the sweetness of the lobster itself, I put a little bit of ginger in here. And so as I'm tasting this, I taste the creaminess from the from the mayonnaise. I taste the garlic and the citrus from the lemon juice. But that ginger, to me, is hitting hard. What do you think?
Yes.
Yes?
It's very good.
Good. So, Miss Angie approves, so we're gonna plate this up. We're gonna let Mr. Chris and Joe behind the scenes taste this at their leisure. But, Miss Angie, I thank you for inspiring me to finally make some lobster roll. If I do say so myself, I think I did a pretty decent job.
You did a great job. You did a great job.
So guys, when you make lobster rolls, some people put this stuff on bread. You can eat it on crackers. Miss Angie, I will eat this stuff with a spoon, just like this.
Too.
So if you ain't trying to eat the carbs, y'all, I know we in a carb sensitive era. You don't need to have it with the bread or the crackers or whatever. Sometimes just some good old protein is all we need. I have this bowled up here. We're gonna garnish it a little bit with some fresh chives. That's a little bit of Miss Angie and Mr. Drew, Chef Drew, lobster roll in the bowl. Oh, that kind of rhymed.
Yes, it did.
Y'all, I'm really, really enjoying our time together, Miss Angie. We're talking, we're learning, you're teaching me stuff, we're fellowshipping. We got the lobster roll down. We're gonna clean some of this stuff up. And then we're gonna continue this conversation. Y'all, listen, we told you a little bit about Miss Angie's story. We told you about how we met. We made some lobster roll. We're gonna continue this and dive a little bit more deep into Miss Angie, her business acumen, and how her foundations and pillars of her business. But before we do that, y'all, I just wanna ask you all, please like and subscribe so we can keep bringing you all this content. Until next time, remember, we are here to help educate you, excite you, and empower you into the business, into the life that you want for yourself. We'll talk soon, y'all. Thanks.